the big secret is that most haven't gotten to that point yet.
Okay,
If you talk to companies, they are still in the experimentation phase.
got
They
it.
have a small group trying it out. They might have people investigating. I get called in a lot to companies saying, "Can you just spend a month with us or do like some fixed bid project where you come in, look at what we're doing, and tell us how and where we can use AI?"
Okay.
And often, many cases for smaller businesses, it's no, you're overthinking it. Or guess what? Generative AI, which is really hot and sexy, does not apply to your area.
Yeah.
Just do some basic other existing unsexy stuff. What's now unsexy was sexy 15 years ago, but that's going to help you. And so I think we're still early on the adoption curve.
Okay. It's interesting you bring that point up because, again, I've seen similar things where, despite all the headlines that would give you the impression that everybody's got this cracked and figured out and everybody's adopting this left and right and going back and forth, there is still a lot of we aren't really sure what we're doing with this. And one of the things that I've actually found interesting is um, a lot of the skeletons of the broken operations and processes and dysfunction of organizations are starting to come out in some of these explorations like you described, because if you're just trying to throw AI on top of what you're doing today, it can actually cause and exacerbate problems in the system. And actually, a lot of folks that I end up talking to, it ends up being like, we maybe need to go back and map what it is you're doing and how that actually works first, because that's not super clear. And so we need to do that hard work that you've been putting off for the last 10 years because you just were like, I don't know, it's fine and we don't really need to think about it.
What you described is not an AI problem, it's a technology problem. So often I see companies that built software before they understood their process, and now the software is misaligned and they have to adjust their process to fit into the software.
Yeah.
Before you apply any technology, classic software, AI, big data, whatever is going to be next, define your business process. Make sure that is clear. And then you want technology to automate that process because when you're doing the wrong thing, technology just lets you do the wrong thing faster.
Faster. Yeah. It allows you to scale your problems, actually, is exactly what we're getting at. It allows you to scale like you've never dreamed possible. So
But
I
it's
am
funny.
curious. What's that?
I was gonna say it's funny what you said about what you hear in the headlines versus reality. So another, we're not hearing as much these days, again in 2024. Last year, everyone was talking about prompt engineering, and this is the new sexy job. I
Mhm.
looked into it. One of my most popular articles was prompt engineering jobs are a mirage. I
Yep.
looked at all these different job boards. There were maybe about a dozen or so jobs that included prompt engineering, most of which were we need a software engineer, and prompt engineering is just one of the things you will do. I found just a tiny handful of actual, we will pay you money to be a prompt engineer. It was this overhyped job. And those of us who are old enough might remember back in the 90s, they talked about all these search experts. Companies are going to have to
Yep.
employ search experts to use all these search engines to find the right thing. That was a mirage too.
Yep.
And we look at history, we look at how other technologies have disrupted us for guidance. In this case, we said, you know what? Everyone overhyped this job. I think prompt engineering is going to be the same thing. And lo and behold, still doesn't exist. And I don't think it ever will in any significant level.